Hey there, viewer. Today I'm going to go through the Salesforce Platform Basics Training with you. You can find the training through the Trailmix, trailhead.salesforce.com. Go to Learn Trails. Loading a bit slowly, and then you go to Admin, Beginner, and you go to the Admin Beginner Trailmix. And there you will find the Salesforce Platform Basics Training. If you haven't signed up for Salesforce yet, you can sign up on the upper right. Let's go to Get Started with the Salesforce Platform. Get started with the Salesforce Platform learning objective. After completing this unit, you will be able to define the Salesforce Platform, describe the Dreamhouse scenario, create a Trailhead playground, explain the difference between declarative and programmatic development. Quick introduction to Salesforce. You might think that Salesforce is just a CRM. It stores your data, gives you process to nurture prospective customers, and provides ways to collaborate with people you work with. And it's all those things, but saying that Salesforce is just a CRM is like saying a house is just a kitchen. There's a lot more to it than that. Salesforce comes with a lot of standard functionality, out-of-the-box products and features that you can use to run your business. Here are some common things businesses want to do with Salesforce and the features we give you that support those activities. You need to sell to prospects and customers, so we give you all leads and opportunities to manage sales. You need to help customers after the sale, so we give you cases and communities for customer engagement. You need to work on the go to customizable Salesforce app. You need to collaborate with workers, partners, and customers, so we give you chatter and communities to connect your company. You need to market to your audience, so we give you Marketing Cloud to manage your customer's journey. Depending on what your company purchases, you can get these features and more without lifting a finger. But you can almost think of these features as a model house that a real estate agent shows off. You could certainly live there, but it wouldn't be your home. It wouldn't have your art on the wall or that unusual coat rack your Aunt Tilda gave you as a housewarming gift. That's where the Salesforce platform comes in. With a platform, you can customize and build whatever it is that makes your company unique. And when you have a business application that's unique to you, everyone is more successful. Stories of Salesforce. Throughout Trailhead, you are introduced to a lot of companies and characters that are using Salesforce in different ways. So let's meet some of the players. Player 1, CloudKicks. Custom sneaker company is making waves in the footwear industry. They use Salesforce to manage sales and help streamline their complicated order creation and fulfillment process. User Major Solar. On the cutting edge of renewable energy, User Major Solar needs business software that doesn't shy away from groundbreaking technology. They use Salesforce to manage sales and customer service nationwide. Get Cloudy Consulting. As one of the best cloud consulting firms in the business, Get Cloudy knows CRM. They use Salesforce to manage existing and potential clients, and they are always looking for new ways to innovate with Salesforce services. Dreamhouse Realty, known for their fresh approach to real estate, Dreamhouse uses Salesforce to connect their employees and improve the efficiency of home sales. We're digging in this house theme, so let's kick off our first module by looking at Dreamhouse Realty. We'll use Dreamhouse Salesforce implementation to explain some of the fundamental terms, concepts, and capabilities of the Salesforce platform. Let's learn a bit more about Dreamhouse. Michelle is a lead real estate broker at Dreamhouse. She finds many potential home buyers through Dreamhouse web and mobile apps. With the apps, customers can browse available homes and make a favorite list of properties that they are interested in. They can also reach out to Michelle or other brokers directly to set up showings. D'Angelo is Dreamhouse Salesforce administrator. Using the Salesforce platform, he is building a suite of custom functionality to support Michelle and her team. Michelle can use this custom functionality to edit and view information about the properties she's selling, as well as keep track of her potential buyers. Remember, Salesforce comes with standard functionality for tracking common sales objects, like accounts, contacts, and leads. But Dreamhouse is a realty firm, so it has specific needs to its industry and business model. Throughout this module, we work with D'Angelo to see the Salesforce platform can meet those needs. Get to know our terms. Perhaps you noticed a strange word in the last paragraphs, objects. Object is one of many important terms you will learn as you get to know Salesforce. First, it's important to understand what a database is and in the context of Salesforce. When you talk about the database, think of a giant spreadsheet. When you put information into Salesforce, it gets stored in the database so you can access it again. It's stored in a very specific way, so you're always accessing the information you need. Let's take a look at the page from the Dreamhouse app to define some of its important elements and how they relate to the database. First element, an app in Salesforce is a set of objects, fields, and other functionality that supports a business process. You can see which app you're using and switch between apps using the app launcher. The app launcher is here. Second one is objects. Objects are a table in the Salesforce database that store a particular kind of information. There are standard objects like accounts and contacts, and custom objects like the property object you see in the graphic. The third one is the records. Records are rows in object database tables. Records are the actual data associated with an object. Here, the 211 Charles Street property is a record. And next we have the fields. Fields are columns in object database tables. Both standard and custom objects have fields. In our property object, we have the fields like address and the price. Another important term that's hard to capture in a picture is org. Org is short for organization, and it refers to a specific instance of Salesforce. The image here is taken from Dreamhouse org. Your company can have one or multiple orgs. That's a lot of new stuff to tackle. If you don't get it all right away, don't worry. As you continue to learn about Salesforce, the terminology will start to come naturally. Your first Trailhead playground. A Trailhead playground org is a safe environment where you can practice the skills you're learning before you take them to the real world. TPs come with the standard app building and customization tools required to test your app development chops. If you've ever heard of a developer edition, a TP is a special type of DE. When you sign up for Trailhead, we automatically create a TP for you. So if you haven't signed up yet, now is a great time to do so. If you've already signed in, scroll to the bottom of this page and click Launch to open your TP. I'll show you that right here. That's the launch. If you launch it, it's going to look like this, and you will have to click there, get your login credentials, get those credentials, and then you can log in and you have the actual development environment here. So let's continue to read. TP orgs are free and you can have up to 10 of them at a time. To create one, go to any hands-on challenge, click the down arrow next to launch and create a Trailhead playground. If you hit your max or want to manage your TPs, you can view and delete them from your Trailhead profile. If you ever need your TP's username and password, you can access them using the instructions here. Go ahead and launch your TP so we can start getting your hands dirty. Customize the Salesforce platform. You already know that you can use the Salesforce platform to develop custom objects and functionality specific to your business. What you might not know is that you can do most of this development without ever writing a line of code. Developing without code is known as a declarative development. With declarative development, you use forms and drag and drop tools to perform powerful customization tasks. The platform also offers programmatic development, which uses things like Lightning components, Apex code, and Visualforce pages. If you're not a programmer, you can still build some amazing things on the platform. So let's watch the videos here. Just finished watching the video and I was a bit quick and honestly all not that easy, helpful to replicate. So let's go down here, go to the playground in case you haven't it open right now, and here you will see the playground starter page, and then there we will go to sales, so we can have like the salesperson view, and you see under contacts there are no contacts, so let's add a contact. Mr. Home Fire. And that should be sufficient for now. So let's go to the next step. Let's start small. Michelle wants a way to quickly indicate whether a potential home buyer is pre-qualified for a home loan. To make this change, D'Angelo wants to create a pre-qualified checkbox on the contact object. D'Angelo is the admin. In Salesforce speak, we are adding a custom field to a standard object. Let's see how he does it. From the gear icon, click Setup to launch the setup page. So that is here. You can also go here and there's setup. And then you will get to this page. And then click the Object Manager tab. Manager is here. Click Contact. Under Fields and Relationships, click New. Data type indicates what kind of information your field holds. For this field, pick checkbox and click Next. Checkbox allows users to select a true checked or false unchecked value. Okay. Field label is what you see in the contact page. Enter pre-qualified and click Next. think we should add a description here, like they said. Bleed is qualified for package. Yes. No. And I'll just copy paste that here to the help text. I'm not sure where that appears on the detail and edit page. Apparently when users hover over the info icon next to this field. So this is the field level security, basically the profiles which you want to grant added access to this field. And I think the default should be fine. We'll just leave it at that. Basically, when you actually use that in reality, you would probably want to restrict that to administrators and whoever is able to have access to the sales app. And then we go on save. You just customize your first object. Great job. Let's take a look at what we did from the app launcher. Need to click on all these dot thingies here. Select contacts. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, but let's go to the contact here that I created under sales. And let's see if there's some field here. Should be under details. And there we have it. Even with the info box, lead is pre-qualified for mortgage. Yes, no. So let's try to edit that. Save. And that works fine. Okay, here's a further explanation, but yeah, like I said, it didn't really make sense because there were no contacts here at all, so I did this basically through the sales app. Find here. That's also what sales people, sales users actually use to manage their sales pipeline in Salesforce. Okay, we added that field pretty quickly, but it turns out that we did more than just add a field. At the same time, the platform did a lot of work under the hood. Obviously, the new field was added to the user interface. You can also run reports and create dashboards that reference your new field. The field is even ready to go in the Salesforce mobile app. You didn't have to do anything except click next. Sounds pretty good. That's the power of the Salesforce platform. In the next unit, we talk about some of the ways you can harness the platform for your business. The resources. term glossary. Getting started with Salesforce. Prepare for success. Webinar. And new to Salesforce, plan and execute a successful launch. Circle of success registration. Sounds interesting. We can probably do that another time. So, ready for the challenge. If you were following along the unit, you have successfully completed a pre-qualified sales checkbox. Now test out what you learned by making a completely new field. This time around you will make a currency field rather than a checkbox. Complete the new challenge below to try out what you've learned. Hands-on challenge. 500 points. Get ready, you will be completing this challenge in your own personal Salesforce environment. Choose from the Dropbox menu, and then click Launch to get started. If you use Trailhead in a language other than English, set the language of your Trailhead playground to English before you attempt this challenge. Want to find out more about using hands-on orgs for Trailhead learning? Check out the Trailhead Playground Management module. Your challenge. Add a custom field to the contact object. Many homebuyers who work with Dreamhouse Realty are pre-qualified for a home loan. Brokers need to know how much money their clients can borrow so they can show properties in the right price range. Add a pre-qualified amount field to the contact object so brokers can record and see this information. Note, to pass this challenge, you will create a new custom field in addition to the one you made earlier in this unit if you are following along. Create a field on the contact object, field data type currency, field label loan amount. So to recap, field is regarding the price range, so the brokers can record and see this information. So we go back to the object manager, go to fields and relationships, click on new. And the data type is currency, we can find that here. And we click on next. Field label is a loan amount. You can copy paste that from here. Don't even need to type it. Description, pre-qualified loan amount of leads. All these fields, and let's see if it shows under our home buyer contacts. And there we have it. We can enter anything, let's say small amount, 200,000. And there we go. It's working, and we can probably filter for that somewhere. Can create some report with that somewhere. Well, that's for another challenge, so let's see if that's working. I get my 500 points. Not so lightning at all, unfortunately. And we got the 500 point. And let's tackle the next unit. Discover use cases for the platform. Learning objectives. After completing this unit, you will be able to describe sample use cases for the platform, discover reasons for using the platform across multiple departments. High impact, low effort. The platform helps you move fast. Part of that speed comes from replacing tasks you are used to doing by hand with more streamlined processes. So let's pause for a moment to talk about some ways the Salesforce platform can accelerate your business. When you're learning to build on the platform, the first things you want to tackle are projects that have big impact but are easy to implement. While that sounds idealistic, the platform gives you lots of opportunities to make big changes with minimal effort. Let's think about an example from Dreamhouse. Michelle and her fellow brokers often use email to discuss particular properties. Sometimes Michelle participates in multiple threads discussing the same property, and that can get confusing. Between all the emails, details get lost. And when brokers overlook a detail, they can miss out on a sale or make a mistake that impacts a buyer. So how does the Salesforce platform help with this issue? Well, for Dreamhouse Realty, D'Angelo creates a custom property object, which we saw in the last unit. Every time you create a custom object, you automatically get something called chatter feed tracking. Chatter feed tracking provides a way for multiple people to comment and collaborate on a particular record. The discussion and decisions are stored on the record so everyone can stay up to date on important decisions. Now Michelle and her brokers don't have to use email anymore for the discussions about a specific property. There you see it. I can also show this to you. Here there's chatter everywhere, also like for the individual users. Loading a bit slowly, and there you can post something in relation to the home buyer. First home buying prospect. Okay, pre-bid. And there you see it. The posting time right now is just now, but when a minute or two or a day have passed, you will see like the date there, and then whatever the person wrote there, you can write that here on the contacts, or we can also create like opportunities there, and then we can write stuff in the opportunities there, but that's for a later time. So here you also see an example. Fatima Murray, can you give the Salzburgs a call to schedule a showing? They're only in town on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and I'm all booked up, thanks. And if you use the ad there, this means you can target people. I'll target myself at FE, and there you see my username. Let's make the comment, and normally it would show here in the notifications, but apparently because I have addressed myself, it doesn't show here. But normally if you address someone else, it will show there, and depending on how Salesforce is set up, they will also get an email. So let's continue here. By creating a single custom object, you can totally change how your organization collaborates. High impact, low effort. As you start building with a platform, keep your eye out for processes with heavy email collaboration, reliance on spreadsheet, shared local documents, time incentive, repetitive manual steps, impact only a few departments. You want to minimize the number of stakeholders while you're still learning. Process with these traits are great candidates for early projects on the sales platform. So, other users for the platform. In our Dreamhouse story, we are using Salesforce to help create real estate agents sell houses better. But you can customize the platform to aid in a lot of other business tasks and not just for the sales department. Let's take a look at a couple other ways you can build on Salesforce. HR can use the platform. Julian, who works in the Dreamhouse HR department, is in crisis. He was hundreds of applications coming in for dozens of job openings. Once applicants are hired, Julian has to set up training and submit hardware requests. All this activity creates a lot of data, and Julian is struggling to manage it all. D'Angelo to the rescue. Using the Salesforce platform, D'Angelo can create a custom app that helps Dreamhouse's HR employees streamline and automate the hiring and onboarding process. Here are some things two custom apps can do. List job openings, store applicants for each job opening, send automated reminders to hiring managers, store orientation and training plans, manage equipment orders, track employee time off. Like any app built on the platform, the HR app D'Angelo creates is available for the Salesforce mobile app. That way, HR reps can manage applicants and the new hires, whether reps are in the office or off at a recruiting fair. Sounds cool. IT can use the platform. Over in IT, Regina is also feeling the burn. She's getting a million IT tickets coming in every minute, and everyone's problems seem to be urgent. Who could she possibly ask for help with this torrent of tickets? You guessed it, her friendly neighborhood sales admin, D'Angelo. When you build your IT ticketing system in the same place as your CRM, you get a lot of benefits. All your users and their information are already there. You can track cases per user and promote collaboration between IT and employees. Here are some other ways to streamline IT using the Salesforce platform. Create reports and dashboards to aggregate and analyze requests. Send confirmation emails when requests are received, completed, or updated. Queue incoming requests, create a custom form for employee requests, and create a knowledge base for common issues. Track employee hardware assets. With a streamlined IT process, users are happier and IT has more time to build infrastructure rather than maintain a separate system. You can use the platform. By now, you're probably getting some ideas for projects of your own. Here are a few use cases for different departments. For employees who work in finance, customize the platform for budget management, contract management, pricing. For employees who work in product, warranty management, reproduction testing, product ideas, and innovation. For employees who work in supply chain, procurement, vendor management, logistics, and for employees who work in ops, asset and facilities management, merger and acquisition enablement, business agility. If you're looking for more inspiration, check out the other ways Salesforce customers are using the platform in the resources section. It sounds like you can use Salesforce for pretty much everything. So now we have a quiz coming for 100 points. When identifying processes to bring into Salesforce, look for manual processes with numerous steps, email-driven processes, teams using spreadsheets to continue the business, documents shared on local directories, all of the above. Yeah, looks like pretty much all of the above, so let's go for E. 3 use cases for finance on the platform are help desk pricing, facilities management, vendor management, transportation, contract management, budget management, pricing, contract management. I was gonna say let's go for C. Identity management, billing management, budget management. Let's have a look at pricing. Yeah, let's go for C. Check the quiz to earn 100 points. Let's hope we're right, because the later attempts get less points. That's great, we got the 100 points. Let's tackle the next unit. Understand the Salesforce architecture. Learning objective. After completing this unit, you will be able to define key terms related to the Salesforce architecture, find information related to trust, explain at least one use case for Salesforce APIs. What is the Salesforce architecture? By now that you can use it. What is the Salesforce architecture? By now, you know that you can use Salesforce to deliver a highly customized experience to your customers, employees, and partners. You can do it without writing much or any code, and you can do it fast. What's so special about Salesforce? It all starts with our architecture. Before you close out this window in a frantic attempt to avoid learning about what seems like a really boring subject, sit tight. Learning about Salesforce architecture is quite interesting, and understanding it makes working with a platform a whole lot easier. When you think about the Salesforce architecture, imagine a series of layers that sit on top of each other. Sometimes it helps to think of it as a cake, because cake is delicious and it makes everything better. So here we got the layers: the application layer, sales, service, marketing, community, analytics, apps, commerce, IoT, equip, and the app exchange. This component exchange, lightning platform, Heroku. There the platform, predictive analysis, Einstein, IoT data, Thunder CRM data management platform. So I don't really understand this at all, but maybe there is some explanation. There's a lot to unpack here, but let's focus on the most important points. Salesforce is a cloud company. Everything we offer resides in the trusted multi-tenant cloud. The Salesforce platform is the foundation of our services. It's powered by metadata and made up of different parts like data services, artificial intelligence, and robust APIs for development. All our apps sit on top of the platform. Our pre-built offering like Sales Cloud and Marketing Cloud, along with apps you build using the platform, has consistent, powerful functionality. Everything is integrated. Our platform technologies like Einstein, predictive intelligence, and the Lightning platform for development are built into everything we offer and everything you build. There are a few terms in here that are extra important for you to understand: trust, multi-tenancy, metadata, and the API. Why trust the cloud? At Salesforce, trust is our top priority. Not only are you keeping your sensitive data in your org, you are also building functionality vital to your company's success on our platform. Our responsibility to keep your data and functionality safe is not something we take lightly, which is why we are always transparent about our services. Our trust site, trust.salesforce.com, is a vital resource. Let's open it. You can use it to view performance data and get more information about how we secure your data. It also shows your planned maintenance we will be performing that might impact your access to Salesforce. See system status here, security, compliance. Sharing is caring in the multi-tenant cloud. So far we have been talking a lot about houses, but really Salesforce is set up more like an apartment building. Your company has its own space in the cloud, but you have all kinds of neighbors from mom and pop shops to multinational corporations. Your dedicated space is here, and this is the house of Salesforce. Shared resources for power, water, and building maintenance. The idea is multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy is a great word for making you sound smart at dinner parties, but all it means is that you're sharing resources. Salesforce provides a core set of services to all our customers in the multi-tenant cloud. No matter the size of your business, you get access to the same computing power, data storage, and core features. Trust and multi-tenancy go hand in hand. Despite the fact that you are sharing space with the other companies, you can trust Salesforce to keep your data secure. You can also trust that you are getting the latest and greatest features with automatic seamless upgrades 3 times a year. Since Salesforce is a cloud service, you never have to install new features or worry about your hardware. All this is possible because of multi-tenancy, the magic of metadata. To put simply, metadata is data about data. Wait, that's not simple at all. When we say data about data, we really talk about structures of your Salesforce org. Let's think about an object like property. When your friends at Dreamhouse use Salesforce, they input and view data about properties. For example, a property can be located in Boston, cost $500,000, and have 3 bedrooms. Now imagine you stripped away all that specific data. What are you left with? You are left with the property object along with all its fields like address, price, and number of bedrooms. You can also have page layouts, security settings, and any other customization that you've made. All of these standard and custom configurations, functionality, and code in your org are metadata. Part of the reason you can move so fast on the platform is that Salesforce knows how to store and serve through that metadata immediately thereafter you have created it. All about that API. Fundamentally, APIs allow different pieces of software to connect to each other and exchange information. If that sounds kind of abstract, take a quick look at the computer you're working on right now. You can probably find a series of ports of various shapes and sizes that support different kinds of connections. These are the hardware version of APIs. You don't have to know how the USB port works. All you have to understand is that when you plug your phone into the USB port, it passes information to your computer. APIs are similar. Without knowing the details, you can connect your apps with other apps or software systems. This underlying technology takes care of the specifics of how information passes through the system. So what does this have to do with Salesforce? Earlier we talked about the database. When you add a custom object or field, the platform automatically creates an API name that serves as an access point between your org and the database. Salesforce uses that API name to retrieve the metadata and data you are looking for. For example, we can use the contact's name field in a bunch of places like the Salesforce mobile app, a custom page, or even an email template. That's all possible because of the API name. Okay, here we see an example. It's basically like a tag that you can integrate, like hi contact name, hi property, your favorite property name, and that's how it looks. Person's name, property names, in this case it's the address. The core of the API power is that all of your data and metadata is API enabled. This might not seem like a big deal right now, but the API gives Salesforce a huge amount of flexibility. It lets you move beyond the normal idea of business software and build unique and creative solutions for your company. Check out this video, for example, of just how far you can take it. Force craft. Okay, let's have a look. Seems someone built some sort of Minecraft integration. This really showed how you can integrate Salesforce data even into the Minecraft game. Okay, let's go on here with the text. While it's truly amazing that you can integrate your Salesforce data with Minecraft, there's also practical applications for the API. Every time you use Salesforce, whether you're using standard functionality or building a custom app, you're interacting with the API. Bunch of resources here. And now there is a quiz for 100 points. Our trusted multi-tenanted cloud means you get the benefit of the same core set of features for all customers. Upgrade 3 times a year, no software to install to access Salesforce. All of the above is what I'm gonna take. Salesforce API is like a contract between two pieces of software, allowing them to connect and exchange information. Not available for certain technologies like variables, the same thing as an API name, only for programmers to use. Like a contract between two pieces of software is what I'm going to choose. Metadata refers to everything in your Salesforce org, including your customer and user data. A representation of your standard functionality without customizations. Data about data. Configuration based. That's data about data, but let's check. Data about data, that's what I'm going to pick. Alright, check the quiz to earn 100 points. And I got the 100 point. And let's tackle the next unit. Navigate setup, learning objectives. After completing this unit, you will be able to locate setup and identify its key elements, identify important menus for customizing your org, and use quick find to access menu items. Set up your new work home. Earlier we mentioned that you will spend a lot of time in setup during your time as a Salesforce administrator. And we weren't kidding. Setup is your one-stop shop for customizing, configuring, and supporting your org. Since there's so much more you can do in the setup area, it's important to get comfortable with navigating it. There are a few ways to approach it. As you learn what's available to you, you will get more comfortable finding the things you need. You can get to setup from any page in your Salesforce org. From the gear menu at the top of the screen, click setup. Let's get familiar with the setup arena. Okay, we were there before. Go to setup. Or maybe we can even make this a new window. Do that. Let's click here on the green thingy. And we got the split screen. Okay, here the first one, we got the object manager. Object manager is where you can view and customize standard and custom objects in your org, which is what we did before. The second point is the setup menu. The menu gives you quick links to a collection of pages that you do everything from managing your users to modifying security settings. The main window, we are showing you the setup homepage, but this is where you can see whatever it is you are trying to work on. Okay, the setup menu is the trickiest piece to navigate because there are so many different pages that you can access. There are 2 ways to get where you want to go. If you already have an idea where to look, expand the appropriate menu and select the page you want. If you're unsure where to look, use the quick find box to search. Let's say you wanted to manage your users' permission sets. If you happen to know that permission sets are in the user menu under administration, just open that menu and click permission sets. Otherwise, enter permission set in the quick find box. Okay, let's do that real quick. Quick find that there, permission sets, and there we go. Loading pretty slowly, but that's lightning for you. Get cozy with the setup menu. There are 3 main categories in the setup menu: administration, platform tools, and settings. Let's take a look at what's available. Administration. The administration category is where you manage your users and data. You can do things like add users, change permissions, import and export data, and create email templates. Platform tools. You do most of your customization in platform tools. You can view and manage your data model, create apps, modify the user interface, and deploy new features to your users. If you decide to try your hand at programmatic development, platform tools is where you manage your code as well. Okay, let's go back so we can see that. And in the settings, finally, settings is where you can manage your company information and org security. You can do things like add business hours, change your local, and view your org's history. Of course, these are only some of the pages you can access in the setup menu. To get you started on the right foot, here's a list of our top 5 setup pages to know about. So to recap, here is the information, administration, the platform tools, and the settings are further below. And now let's go to the list here item, company information, why it's a must-see. At a glance view of your org, find your org ID, see your licensing information, monitor important limits like data and file usage. Now, where do we see this? It's here. And the users reset password, create new users, and deactivate or freeze existing users. View information about your users. Profiles. Manage who can see what was user profiles. Create custom profiles. And view setup audit trail. See 6 months of change history in your org. Find out who made changes and when. Tool for troubleshooting org configuration issues, and the login history. See 6 months of login history for your org. View date, time, user IP address, and more login data used for security tracking and adoption monitoring. So that sounds pretty comprehensive altogether. Here's some resources. As usual, set up your company in Salesforce, find object management settings in Lightning, find your way around Lightning experience setup. Company page is where you can find your org ID, licenses available in use, information on important limits such as data and file usage, all of the above. That's what I'm going to choose. What are the 3 main categories in the setup menu? That would be administration, platform tools, settings. That's correct. And what is an easy way to find what you're looking for in the setup menu? Type the first 3 letters of what you're looking for in the quick find box. click headings and subheadings until you find what you're looking for. That's also a slow way to do it. And memorize what's in each category, not a bad thing to do either. And click one of the main categories in the setup menu and look at the page to the right. That's kind of the slowest way, so I'm gonna go for the first one. Let's see if I get the 100 points again. And I got those, so we are already 80% through. So let's tackle the next unit. Power up with App Exchange. Learning objective. After you completed these units, you will be able to develop your own App Exchange strategy, install an app from the App Exchange. What is App Exchange? You will probably comfortable with the idea of app stores. Whether you're downloading apps on your phone, tablet, computer, or device, you have to download and install apps to make the most of your technology. Salesforce is the same way. Earlier we mentioned the enterprise ecosystem. Salesforce has a community of partners that use the flexibility of the Salesforce platform to build some amazing apps and other solutions that anyone can use. These offerings are available, some for free, some at a cost, for installation on the App Exchange. Strategies for success. The Angelo's Dreamhouse app is a raging success among the company real estate brokers. But if we are being realistic, D'Angelo is only one guy. There are only so many hours in the day for him to develop new apps for his colleagues. Luckily, App Exchange is full of apps D'Angelo can download to help Dreamhouse manage everything from payroll to travel approval to integration with other tools like Evernote and MailChimp. The possibilities App Exchange offers are exciting, but before you can start downloading every app inside, you need to develop a strategy. A solid App Exchange strategy helps ensure that you are getting the highest value apps without duplicating functionality or investing in something that you don't need. Follow these steps to develop a good App Exchange strategy. Identify departments that use or plan to use Salesforce. These are your primarily stakeholders. Research what's available on App Exchange that best meets your stakeholder requirements. Discuss business cases with department heads to determine what exactly is needed. Here are some good questions to ask. What business problems are you trying to solve? What are your main pain points right now? How many users need this app? What's your budget? What's your timeline? These questions help you identify apps that are the best fit for each department or business case. When you find an app that you think meets your needs, download the app in a test environment like a free developer edition or sandbox. Ensure that the app you are installing doesn't interfere with any other apps you have installed or customizations you have made. And here's a note. Sandboxes are copies of your organization in a separate environment. They're used for development and testing. See Sandbox Overview. But we are not going to look at that right now. If you're choosing between multiple apps, take some time to evaluate what you've tested. Determine whether there are feature gaps or unwanted functionalities. If necessary, invite your stakeholders to demo the app and provide feedback. You're ready to go. You will install and deploy your app in your production environment. Make sure you keep users in the loop about what's changing and provide training and documentation as necessary. Install your first app. While App Exchange resembles a traditional app store like you can find on your phone or tablet, it's important to remember that your Salesforce org is a complicated environment. You can't just install an app because it has a cool logo or a convincing catchphrase. So what's the right way to install an app? We'll show you. Let's say you find a great app on the App Exchange that gives you a fancy set of dashboards for your org. App Exchange Dashboard Pack is shown here. To install the app, click Get It Now. This button takes you to the installation wizard that guides you through the steps. There are 2 quick questions you need to answer during the installation process. Where do I install the app, production or sandbox? In general, it's best practice to first install the app in a non-production environment like a sandbox or a developer edition org. Testing the apps first helps you to avoid conflicts in production with things like object names. Do I give app permissions to admins only, all users, or specific profiles? That depends on who the app is for. If you want to limit access to a particular set of users, plan to modify those user profiles before you install the app. Where did my app go? Congratulations, you have installed your first app. Now if you could only find it. Apps are installed using something called a package. To find the package, from setup, search install package in the quick find box. Okay, we are firstly going to install this dashboard pack through the app exchange. Let's find the app exchange. Let's copy the link, paste it here. And apparently I need to log in. Loading quite slowly, but it is how it is. And now that we are all logged in, let's find something that we can install. Where are the fancy dashboards? The search field is up there, didn't really notice it. Let's search for dashboards. Let's get this one, Salesforce adoption dashboards. Get it now. So apparently I'm not logged in as an admin here. App exchange, let's look here. Probably need to do this, yeah, seems we need to do it through this one and not through the link for some reason. Guess it's logged in there with my Trailhead account and not through the app exchange. Let's search again, dashboard pack. This one. It's kind of similar. This one is free, so let's get that now. Open login screen. Enter the pop-up, so guess I need to enable that for the login to work. And my login was successful. But not much else is happening. So let's reload this page. Couldn't really get that sorted, unfortunately, but I guess I'll get it sorted somehow later on when it's really needed. Let's continue here. Where did my app go? Congratulations, you have installed your first app. Now if you could only find it. Apps are installed using something called a package. To find the package from the setup search, select installed packages in the quick find box. Click the name of the package you installed. It will be the same name from the App Exchange download page. Click View Components to see more information about the package. The package details page shows you all the components, including custom fields, custom object, the Apex classes in the package. This information helps you determine whether you have any conflicts in your own customizations. So the installed packages, that would be, search here. Stored packages. And we have nothing there because it didn't work for some reason, but anyway, that's where you will find it. Some final thoughts. As you start to explore App Exchange, be sure to check out free apps provided by Salesforce Lab. The great thing about Salesforce Lab apps, other than that they are free, is that they are open source. You can customize them as needed and peek under the hood to see how they work. It's a great way to learn more about how the platform works. Speaking of learning more, this module has given you a great foundation for diving deeper into the Salesforce platform. Check out the resources below for some potential next step in your journey. Happy trails! Resources, App Exchange, Salesforce admin blog, create an App Exchange strategy. So pretty much what was talked about before. Now let's get to the 100-point quiz. When you're getting started with the App Exchange, a best practice is to install apps of interest right away. Request the top 3 apps from each department and develop a plan including budget, timing, and key department use cases. Install apps directly into production. Now I would choose C in this case. And number 2, when you want to find an app after you install it, what should you enter in the quick find box in the setup? Installed packages is what we were looking for right now. Oh, you've got a shiny new badge on your profile. That's great to hear. As you can see, we just finished the Salesforce Platform Basics module. I just noticed it when the first data modeling module already started. So that was it. Thank you for watching. I hope you were not too annoyed by my terrible narration. If you like it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, click on subscribe. And if you have any feedback for me, whether positive or negative, just type a comment below. Thank you so much. Have a good day.